Welcome to video tutorial 13, and in this video we're going to be showing you how to finish stuffing and complete the last round of the bunny. In the last video we left you completing all the way up to and including round 29 of the bunny body and legs. So your bunny should now look like this. You can see the effect the decreasings have, the way the bunny gently slopes upwards to his neck. So we're going to finish stuffing. You can, if you find it easier, just stuff a little bit as you go along. But we did his legs, didn't we, earlier? So we're just going to pop more stuffing in, get him in nice and firm. And I always find it's nice to pop a little bit in the tummy area. The place where your marker is the back of your bunny, because that's where our strand will finish off that we'll be sewing it on with. So we usually do that from the back. And then what we're going to do is make sure he's got a nice little round tummy. I just think it adds to the character. It's a nice little finish for them. So we're just popping the stuffing in like so, and then we're just going to give it a little jig around like so, just to give him his shape. I'll separate it a bit and then pop it in. And we want his body nice and firm, but just don't go so mad that your stuffing is bursting through the seams. That's too much. Take a bit out. We want nice and firm. So what I'm doing here with his tummy, look, I'm pushing extra in. And you can see, look at that, it's got a little rounded tummy, but I'll keep it flatter on the back where the marker is and a little bit rounded there. Just gives him a nice character. So just look at it before you finish and make sure that it's not showing through the stitches. If it is, take a bit out. Again, that's why we use the smaller hook, even though the wool says a 5mm, we're using a 3.5 the Nepal, or on the Arthur Betsy's with the Stylecraft Aran, we use a 4mm. We've checked them all as to what works best, but it is always a few sizes smaller for toys to make sure we don't have that horrible gappy stuffing showing through. Look, not very fashionable. Right, so there we are. So we've got a bit of a tummy, so we can push it down, just manipulate it a bit by pushing a bit extra in and then shaping. So this is the kind of shape we're looking at. So we've got nice even legs, rounded, nice rounded tummy, flatter at the back, and then we do need stuffing right up to the top when you're done, but we'll wait until we finish that last round. And then when you're about to sew the head on, you can always add a little bit more stuffing because it needs to be full right to the top. So if there's a big gap and then we sew the head on, the head could be a little bit loose, not stand up straight. So we're going to now complete the last round. So let's have a look at our pattern, see what it says. We are going to be doing a double crochet and then a decrease. And then we're going to repeat that 6 times. Now this bit here is a little bit different. So we're doing the double crochet decrease, double crochet decrease. So we're going to repeat that 6 times. And then at the end, we're just going to do 2 single double crochets. So that's what that means, a little bit different. So we'll show you the whole round of what that means. So double crochet decrease 6 times and then just 2 single double crochets. So let's get our hook back on. Oops, let's get in position. Right, so double crochet decrease. So we're going to go to our next stitch. So we're lifting up to see where we're up to. It's not that one, it's this one. So double crochet and then a decrease. So the same method as before, where we're hooking the front of both of the stitches. Now you'll see why we did our stuffing as well, because once we finish this round, the opening is going to be quite small. So it's not that you can't get your stuffing in, it just makes it really awkward. And it's far more awkward to try and get the stuffing in the tummy area or try and get it nice and even, because you're working through a very small gap. So as you can see, we're doing 1 normal double crochet, just a standard stitch, and then decrease. So grabbing the front 2 loops and doing our decrease like we did before. and then a double crochet, and then a decrease again. So we're just repeating that pattern almost to the end. You'll know when you're at the right place because the last instruction is a double crochet and then a double crochet, so we'll just have 2 stitches left when we've completed our 6. But again, count them as you're going round and count them when you've finished to make sure you're on track. If you end up with his neck too small, it'll look a bit odd when we sew his head on, and if it's too big, it'll look like he's got a big neck. Oops. So we're nearly there. So you can see now we've done our double crochet decrease, double crochet decrease, and we've repeated that pattern round 6 times. We now have 2 single stitches left. So the last instruction was 2 double crochets. So here we are. We're going to do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and that's our last stitch. And now we've actually finished that, so we can now take off the mark altogether. And what we're going to do is a slip stitch and fasten off. So it says on the pattern. Let's just have a look. Let's read through together. So now we've done line 30. It says slip stitch and fasten off. Sorry, slip stitch into next stitch, then fasten off. Leave 40 centimetres of yarn to sew the head on later. Finish stuffing and set aside. So what we're going to do is our slip stitch. So our slip stitch, if you remember, is we're just going into the next stitch as normal, grabbing the yarn, pulling it through, but then carry on and pull it through the loop. Make our loop a little bit bigger. It says to leave about 40 centimetres, and you can leave longer or shorter, but that just gives you a good idea. That'll be enough to safely sew the head on. So we clip that, and then if you remember from last time we did this, we're just going to grab that strand and put it through the loop like so, and then pull it tight, and then that will fasten it off securely so it won't come undone. So then we can put that to a side knowing that it won't come undone. I'm going to pop a bit more stuffing in because then it's all ready. I'll pop that in there. And make sure it's all a nice shape. So there we go. It's all stuffed to the top. There's our little neck. Let's just squeeze it into shape. So it's nice and even. Have a look at it and think, are my sides even? Is it stuck out to one side? Is it lumpy anywhere? Have a look around, make sure there aren't lumps and bumps, and if there are, just give them a squeeze. Wiggle the stuff in around to get it nice, a nice shape. It will mean, if you've got a nice shape with your stuff in, that your finished bunny looks a lot better than if it's just all lumpy. So there we are, we're all done. So we're going to pop that to one side. And then we'll continue with the rest of the pattern in the next video. Thank you.